Welcome to viewers and students. Here we will discuss a few sums on direct variation and inverse variation. Earlier we discussed the definition of direct variation when two variables are related in such a way that their ratio is always a constant. Say for example x and y. These are two variables and their ratio is always constant k. That means for different values of x, say for x1, x2, x3, you will get different values of y. These are corresponding values are y1, y2, y3, and you find that their ratio is always constant. x1 by y1, x2 by y2, x3 by y3, etc. equal to k. So in this case, we say x is directly proportional to y. Now, two variables x and y, their relationship is that product of x and y is always constant k. That means different values of x are x1, x2, y, x3, etc. and corresponding values of y are y1, y2, y3, etc. We find that product of x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, etc. are constant. That means product of the values of x and corresponding values of y are same. So in this case, it is called inversely proportional. X is inversely proportional to y. Now let us take an example. A photograph of a bacteria enlarged 50,000 times attains a length of 5 cm. What is the actual size length of the bacteria? If the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times, what would be the enlarged length of the bacteria? So this bacteria, when you observe through microscope, you can adjust the enlarged size. So if it is enlarged 50,000 times, its size is 5 cm. Right? If it is enlarged 50,000 times, size will be 5 cm. So what was its actual size or length of the bacteria? That means what was its size before enlargement? That means enlargement is made one time. That means no change. When enlargement is made 50,000 times, its size is 5 cm. So more enlargement means its size will be larger. It's a question of direct proportional. So if you treat the enlargement is treated as y, actual length size is suppose x, right? So you see x and y are directly proportional. If the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times, what would be the enlarged length? Here we mean times of enlargement. It is times of enlargement. And length. So when it is enlarged 50,000 times, it is y. And length obtained after enlargement is suppose x. Now different values are x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2, this is x3, this is y3. Now here x is directly proportional to y. That is x1 by y1, x2 by y2, x3 by y3. These are same constant k. Now x1 by y1 equal to x2. x2 means 5. y2 means 50,000. x1 divided by y1 means 1 by 5 divided by 50,000. Or you can write it as 1 divided by 10,000. Right? So x1 multiplied by 10,000 equal to 1, x1 equal to 10,000, 1 divided by 10,000, or you can write it as 1 by 10 to the power 4. That means 10 to the power minus 4. 1 by 10 to the power 4 means, what is 1 by 10 to the power 4? You can write it as 0.0001. So before enlargement, size of the bacteria was this much amount, 0.0001 centimeter, or you can say 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter before enlargement, actual size. Actual size of the bacteria was 1 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter. Why we are writing it is 1 before enlargement means if bacteria is not enlarged, that means it remains actual length. 1 times enlargement. 1 times enlargement means no enlargement. It is not extended. Now second case, if it is enlarged by 20,000 times, what would be the length? Again you see x2 by y2 equal to x3 by y3. x2 is 5 divided by 50,000. x3 is not known. y3 is 20,000 times. Let us solve this. x3 equal to 5 into 20,000 divided by 50,000. So we can solve this out, right? 5 on the 5, 2. Therefore, if photograph is enlarged 20,000 times, enlarged length will be 2 centimeter. So if it is enlarged 20,000 times, size would be 2 centimeter in length. So if the bacteria is enlarged 20,000 times, its length would be 2 centimeter in size. Let's come to question number 2 now. A 5 meter 60 centimeter high vertical pole cast a shadow of 3 meter 20 centimeter in length. So let's see, this is the position of the sun. So it's a vertical pole, right? Now its height is 5 meter 60 centimeter, and its shadow is this. Its shadow is this. This is 3 meter 20 centimeter. At the same time, find the length of the shadow cast by another pole of 10 meter 50 centimeter. So there is another pole. Its height is 10 meter 50 centimeter. 10 meter 50 centimeter. So its shadow would be longer than earlier. The more is the height of the pole, the longer would be the length of the shadow. So its length we have to find it out, right? So here we find two variables: length of pole and length of shadow. So it is x, suppose this is y. So when it is length of the pole is 5 meter 60 centimeter, 5 meter 60 centimeter. Length of the shadow is 3 meter 20 centimeter. Now we have to find the length of the shadow cast by 10 meter 50 centimeter. This is suppose x1, this is y1, x2, y2, right? Here x is directly proportional to y, right? More is the length of the pole, more would be the length of the shadow. If the pole is longer, shadow would be longer. So x is directly proportional to y. That means x1 by y1, x2 by y2 equal to k constant. Now here x1 means 5 meter 60 centimeter. That means 560. And length of the shadow, corresponding length of the shadow is 320. So 10 meter 50 centimeter means 1050. What would be length of the shadow? Y2. Now y2 equal to, you find that 320 into 1050 divided by 560. So let's solve this. 8 7s are 56, 8 4s are, then 7 15s are 105. So it is 600 centimeter. That means 6 meter. So this is answer is 6 meter. Again you are asked, find the height of the pole which casts a shadow of 5 meter long. This is y3, 5 meter. So what is the length of the pole here? X3, right? So this time you find x3 now. So again you will write x1 by y1 equal to x3 by y3. So 560 divided by 320 equal to x3 divided by 5 meter means 500 centimeter. This time we are given the length of the shadow. We have to find the length of the pole. So let's solve this. X3 equal to 560 into 500 divided by 320. So it is 8 4s are 8 7s are 0. Then 7 5s are 35. 3500 by 4. So 4 is 32. 4 is 32. Then 32 plus 3, 30. 4 7s are 28. 4 5s are centimeter. That means 8 meter 75 centimeter. So if the length of the shadow is 5 meter, the length of the pole would be 8 meter 75 centimeter. Let us come to question number 3 here. 2 persons could fit a new window in a house in 3 days. One person fell ill before the start of the work. How long would the job take now? How many persons should be needed to fit the window in 1 day? 2 persons can fit a new window in a house in 3 days. Now in case of job done, you should see, if you deploy more number of persons, if X increases, then number of days requires will be, if X increases, Y decreases. If X decreases, Y will be, Y increases. If you increase the number of persons, you will need less number of days. If you decrease the number of persons, you will need more days to complete the job. So you can make a table, right? So number of persons this is x, number of this is y. So 2 persons, number of persons 2, x1 suppose, can complete the job in 3 days. This is 3, y1. One person fell ill before the start of the work. That means only one person will do the job. Number of person is 1. So how long would it take to complete the job? So if you deploy one number of person, how many days will be required to do that job? You have to find y2. Again, it says how many persons would be needed to fit the window in 1 day. So if you want to do the job in 1 day, how many persons you have to deploy? What would be x3 here? Now here you see x is inversely proportional to y. That is x into y equal to k, constant. Or you can write x1 y1 x2 y2. That means product of the values of different values of x with different corresponding values of y would be constant, x3 y3. Now let us see from x1 y1 and x2 y2. You see x1 y1 equal to x2 y2. What is x1 y1? 2 multiplied by 3. x2 y2 is not known. x2 means 1. y2 is not known. So what is y2? y2 equal to 6. That means one person will take 6 days. How long will it take to complete the job now? One person will take 6 days to do the job. Right? Now let us come to the second case here. x1 y1 equal to x3 y3. 2 multiplied by 3, x3 y3 is 1. So what is x3? Right? x3 equal to 6. That means 6 person will complete the job in 1 day. That is 6 persons will do the job in 1 day. More person, less days. Less person, more days. So more persons will need only 1 day, whereas less person will need more days. So it's a question of inverse proportion, right? So thank you viewers for watching this video. Hope you understood the concept of direct variation and inverse variation. Okay, bye bye.